August the 21st, 2016, Jesper Eriksson versus Connor Pedersen in the Senior World Championship final. The round is tied at 1-1. This top deck right here isn't just important, it's life-changing. With a prize of a $25,000 scholarship riding in the balance, it's pretty safe to say not only the viewers, but the players are awaiting this top deck with hell's breath. A World Championship title, scholarship, and legacy all ride on this next top deck. This is an iconic moment in Pokemon history, but they don't know that yet. So let's rewind and tell this story properly. The 22nd of August 2015, the Masters World Championship final. Here we see Mii's piloting Seismito Crobat extremely well, but he is unable to contain the raw aggressiveness of Jacob Van Wagner's Blastoise deck. But wait, this deck looks familiar. If we was to fast forward again, this is the same archetype that Connor is currently playing. Ever since Toad was printed, it has been haunting the format with a myriad of different partners and strategies. The main staple across all of them though has always been DCE and Quaking Punch. It only does 30 damage however, sure, but it stops your opponent from playing item cards, which is absolutely terrifying. This renders a ton of format staples from being played, such as Ultra Ball, VS Seeker, and switching cards. And with 4 national wins, 35 event top 8s, and 7 top 32 placements at the last World Championships alone, it is safe to say that Seismito is on a mission. A mission to get another World Championship title under its belt. And even though there are a ton of different Seismito variants, Seismito Crobat seems to be the most potent. So what makes Toad Bat so successful? We've already seen it's in 2 World Championship finals. Well, augmenting Quaking Punch with extra damage via Crobat and Golbat's ability, which both provide extra damage when you evolve them, is crucial. An absolutely dangerous combo. This changes Quaking Punch from a disruption attack all the way to a high tier offensive threat. Golbat and Crobat also have insane synergy with Super Scoop Up and AZ. 2 cards which are already seen in Toad variants at a high count, but these can now be used to reset Crobat and Golbat, allowing you to reuse them throughout the game. All this extra damage from Golbat and Crobat allows Seismito to take KOs at a much faster rate, essentially putting your opponent on a deadly timer. Basically saying, if you don't set up real fast, I'm going to steal this game away from you. While there were some differences due to rotation, the core concept between Mii's and Connor's deck remains exactly the same. So that sets the scene for Connor's deck, a tried and tested top tier meta threat. However, Jesper's deck is the polar opposite. A brand new deck that we had never seen before.
The pressure is rising. Gear up for battle in Pokemon trading card game XY, Steam Siege. In stores now. Each booster pack of 10 cards sold separately. Cards vary by pack.
The 2016 World Championships was the first time the August set was legal. And while Steam Siege opened the door for some new archetypes such as Volcanion and Mega Gardevoir, it was none of these that caught Jesper's eye. It was Yanmega. Yanmega is a stage 1 Pokemon with 1 attack, Assault Boom, which does 50 plus 70 if the opponent's active has a tool card attached. Really good for clearing the way of non-EX Pokemon. But at 3 energy, it is extremely costly to use, especially on a stage 1. However, we can fix both of these problems since Yanmega has an ability, Sonic Vision, which allows you to ignore all energy cost on its attacks provided you have 4 cards in your hand. A condition which was extremely easy to fulfill with cards such as Ultra Ball, N, and Judge all in the format. And with Forest of Giant Plants available, we can get Yanmega into play as early as turn 1, making for a fairly high HP offensive threat. Combine this with Yanmega Break for extra HP and a more reliable 100 damage, Yanmega is a beefy problem for Seismito to deal with, especially since it hits Seismito for weakness. However, if Connor never attaches a tool card to his Seismito, Yanmega actually can't one-shot it. However, Yanmega's partner has no problems in KOing a Toad. Vesper Queen is an absolute powerhouse. For a DCE you can use Be Revenge, which does 20 plus 10 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. And with 24 Pokemon in Jesper's deck, Be Revenge can add up super quickly, capable of OHKOing anything in format, regardless of weakness. An extremely efficient and high damage attacker, which can be paired with a multitude of options. We even saw Ross Cawthorn take a Vesper Queen deck all the way to 4th place at this very World Championships, so it's not looking good for Connor. However, I cannot stress this enough though, if any Toad deck can beat Vesper Queen, it is definitely Toad Bats. Quaking Punch paired with Bats damage and hand disruption via N and Delinquent can topple anything it faces. And we can see that Toad Bats is definitely capable of beating Yanmega, since when we fast forward, we can see the series is tied at 1-1. So what happened in game 1? A poor turn 1 from Connor allowed Jesper 2 turns of items, which allows him to get a Yanmega break into play and a Vesper Queen, which KOs a Toad with ease. Connor attempts to stabilize by Lysandring up a Shaman.
He can go for the Lysander strategy again if he chooses to, and sure enough he does. Brings up that Shaman. That's kind of a desperation play, but I mean when that's all you got going for you. Remember, your opponent already played 1 AZ. How many more can he have?
Yeah.
Which works for a turn, but Jesper does find a DC to retreat and he's quickly able to KO another Toad.
Wow.
That was a huge draw for Jesper here, and you saw how he fist pumped. He knew it was going to be a big draw. Plays a Force of Giant Plants, gets rid of that Silent Lab, attaches that double colorless energy. Now, if he chooses to retreat here and bring up this Vesper Queen, he will get a knockout on the Seismito. Sure enough, he chooses to do so, and Vesper Queen will be able to Be Revenge, bring himself down to a single prize, and Seismito will be going down.
All Connor can do is enter one and hope Jesper doesn't draw out of it. But let's see what he draws. Pay attention to listen to the crowd when they see it too.
Yeah, this is exactly what he needed. He needed to make sure that Jesper's down to 1 card in hand. I mean, this is a pretty good spot for Connor if Jesper doesn't draw out of it.
That's right. Now, Yanmega Break does have a double color synergy attached.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. What a huge card drawn here by Jesper. His 1 card hand is a Sycamore.
Unbelievable. That is exactly what you want to see, using all of your luck here in the finals.
Connor is able to get down to 2 prizes via Surprise Bite damage, but all he can do is hope that Jesper doesn't find another DCE.
Well, actually, here, if he has the Golbat, he can take out the Shaman, give himself 2
He does
cards.
have the Golbat.
Hopefully
He had a
can
Golbat in
find
his
the
hand, and the Shaman goes down. That's 2 more prizes taken here by Connor.
And he's just going to go ahead and bring up this other Crobat because it has the most hit points.
That's all he can really do at this point. Now, does Jesper have what it takes? He
double
does find the double color
colorless.
synergy right away. A handshake is stretched out. Jesper wins the very first game of this top 8, or of this senior division finals.
In game 2, Jesper continues his onslaught with a turn 1 Yanmega Break, which forces a rare Grenade Hammer from Connor to remove it from play.
Now look at that Seismitoad actually gearing up to potentially a Grenade Hammer at some point. Not something you really see out of these Seismitoad Crobat decks too often.
Yeah, and I mean, it won't even knock out the Yanmega. He's got so
Well,
much.
he's got a Golbat in his
Yeah, he'd have to use his
If he
bite.
chooses, what choice does Connor really have, though? I mean, you're already facing down a Yanmega Break from your opponent's very first.
Oh, yeah, you have to get rid of it.
But unfortunately for Connor, weakness rears its ugly head again, and that Toad gets ejected straight back, resulting in this board state.
That Versus Seeker does find him a Lysander. He chooses to do so to avoid getting Quaking Punch locked out of there, and that Seismito does go down. Jesper is down to 3 prize cards left against his opponent's 5.
How can he get back from this? Well, a gnarly Fury Belt plus Crobat plus Golbat plus NKO is a terrific start.
I see a Crobat deal 30 damage.
Oh, he's going to hit. He has an end. So
the final card in his hand was an N, and now he's going to bring Jesper down to a 3-card hand. He's going to bring himself back up to 5. If he can find a Golbat here.
Putting Jesper down in a low enough hand to where maybe he can't get anything going. If he can't find double colorless energy,
This is exactly what
how does he answer? Wow,
Golbat
there it
comes
is.
down.
Yeah.
He's going to deal 20 more damage to that Vesper Queen. That Vesper Queen is going to be getting knocked out by this Quaking Punch, and now Connor's got some sort of hope here. He's finding the few cards he can find to be able to get himself right back into this game.
The comeback was definitely on for Connor, and this was perfectly punctuated by a soul-destroying Delinquent to 0, removing all cards from Jesper's hand.
Really can't do.
Delinquent brings his opponent down to a 0-card hand. Delinquent at the perfect time. 0 cards in hand for Jesper Eriksson. Good luck getting to 4 cards now.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and take 40 more damage here. And I mean, The pressure's on. He needs to top deck a supporter right now.
Top decks, what does he have? Just
Pass.
passes the turn.
Resulting in a Game 2 victory for Connor.
You just see Jesper just hand on his head, just what can I do from this point?
Draws an Ultra Ball.
Has to
That's
give it up.
absolutely it. Jesper Eriksson concedes this game, and we are going to a Game 3, Kyle.
So here we are, Game 3. Win or go home. $25,000 on the line. Jesper's deck is definitely favored, 100%. But the momentum is definitely with Connor. And that momentum continues with Connor as he has this killer one board.
Will he find the double color synergy? I only see
water.
water so far. What?
Last
Oh, the double color
card.
synergy right off the last card. He is going to be able to Quaking Punch here and not lock his opponent out of item cards. The final card drawn was that double color synergy.
However, Jesper refuses to give up and responds immediately with a turn 2 B Revenge for KO.
Now he has 7 new cards to deal with. He finds a double color synergy. Does he find evolutions though?
And he finds
found
the last card is his Vesper Queen.
the Vesper Queen was the final card. He has the double color synergy. He's going to be retreating. He has enough Pokemon to knock out that Seismito. The Seismito goes down. 2 prizes taken for Jesper. And now, once again, back against the wall for Connor here.
And with Connor's back against the wall, we actually see a new attacker from Connor, Lugia EX, which when it has a Fighting Fury belt attached, with its Aero Ball attack, can do 90 damage to a Vesp, perfect for clearing the way, and since it isn't weak to grass, it is fairly safe from being return KO'd. Maybe this is the unlikely hero for Connor, his late game savior as it were, because with another water energy, it actually carries Jesper's Yanmega Break.
All right, well, that Lugia is going to be taking 60 more damage because of that bursting balloon. Jesper's Yanmega Break does go down, so Connor does take a prize.
But unfortunately, since it has 180 damage on it, it is very vulnerable to a well-placed Sky Return from Jesper, allowing him to keep a DTE, remove a Lysandre target from the board, and allow him to draw cards next turn to help close his game out.
Yep. Here comes the Sky Return, and
Fair enough, Sky Return
down
brings
goes Lugia.
Giving back to his hand.
2 prizes separating Jesper from the World Championship. Connor has to stop him now.
So here we are, back at the moment we started with. Jesper in a commanding position, but we have seen Connor grind these late game scenarios back into his favor. N plus Quaking Punch is definitely the key. Whose life will this top deck change? Jesper's or Connor's? Jesper's. And he went on to win 2 turns later. Well played to them both.
And hope that there's not enough. The Sycamore's going to discard, I believe that's enough Pokemon, and that's going to be the game.
That is the game. Connor Peterson goes down 2 games to 1 against our 2016 Senior Division World Champion, Jesper Eriksson.